Today we're going to talk a little bit about 7.5 proportional segments with parallel lines, just to kind of give you an idea how it works. And basically, anytime you have a set of parallel lines, it could be one, it could be multiple sets, which are parallel to the base of your triangle, it creates a whole series of similar triangles. Because of the parallel lines, you'll have congruent corresponding angles. And so you'll have AA along with a reflexive angle at the top. So you could use similar triangles to solve these proportions. But the other thing that the parallel lines do is they actually cut the sides up proportionally. So if you wanted to solve for z, you could just say 16 over z equals 20 over 10. It just looks like its own proportion. Or if you wanted to solve for y, you could do 16 over 24 equals 20 over y. And if we look at what's happening, it does match up. On the top one, I've got the upper left over the middle left, and then it's equaling the upper right over the middle right. They match up. And likewise, the one on the bottom has the upper left over the lower left, and you're comparing it to the upper right over the lower right. So again, it does match up. The only place you have to be careful is when you're talking about the base of the triangle or the parallel lines themselves, and it's because we are able, when we're talking about the sides, to just use parts of the sides. But if we wanted to solve for W and we said something like W over 16, we don't want to be tempted to say equals 36 over 24, because what you're actually doing in this proportion is you're saying I'm taking the base of my triangle and I'm putting it over the entire side of the triangle. So when you're talking about 36, you would need to put it over the entire side of the triangle. So you wouldn't want to use just 24. You would want to use 24 plus 16 plus whatever z was. So going back up here for a second, we can see that 10 is half of 20, so z is going to end up being 8. So now would be an appropriate time to solve for w. We could say w over 16 is equal to 36 over 48. And you could go about your business solving that proportion. So use what we've said here about parallel lines, cutting them into proportional pieces. And the other thing they want to let you know is that it works backwards. Given the triangle that we have here now, if you are given the sides, but we don't know anything about whether or not these lines are parallel, we can just set up a little proportion. 8 over 6 equals 12 over 9. Now, if we just cross multiply and check this out, 72 does equal 72. So these are equivalent. Or you could have just reduced them down and you would have noticed that this becomes 3/4, and this will also become 4/3. So they are equivalent. If you have proportional sides, then we know that these lines must be parallel. And so you can use that to prove that you have parallel lines. So try out this homework, and if you have any trouble with it, I will see you on Monday.